Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. And everything I will link to down below in the description. And let's get right into the video. So I'll be doing my sister's nails, and I'll be starting off by using the Pana Cuticle ceramic drill bit at a really low speed. It's at either 3 or 4 RPMs, and I'm just going around the cuticle area and removing all of the dead skin that is on the nail plate. So now I'm using a cuticle ball bit, and this is touching the skin only, like literally the cuticle area, like the actual skin. It does not touch the nail plate. Do not let it touch the nail plate. It will eat it up. So yeah. Now I'm going in with my 180 grit sanding band at 3 to 4,000 RPMs. Same thing with the ball bit. I think I use the ball bit a little bit faster, so for like 4 to 5, but still super slow and being very gentle. And the only thing I'm doing with this step is removing the shine from the natural nail and making sure that that cuticle area is, everything is off of it. So now I'm going in with my Vasitas tips and my KDS nail glue. I got both these things from Amazon, and in the background I am using my blue shop towels that are also from Amazon, and the links to those will be linked down below in the description. And here is the thumb. The video was still like zoomed in and all that, so I didn't really get much of it, but all I'm doing is gluing on the proper size tip. You don't want it to be too big or too small. You want it to fit just right, or it may cause lifting and all that stuff. So now I am cutting them down with my nail tip cutters, and then I matched them up, but I ended up cutting that part out because it was just unnecessary. This is my full process though, pretty much, so I'll let you guys know if I like did something that I didn't include in the video, just for time purposes. And yeah. So after I matched up both hands and cut them down to the same length, I go in, and the part where the tip meets the natural nail, I blend that in, staying on the tip only, because it helps with a smoother application. So now I'm cutting the C curve off with my Stork scissors. These are from Amazon, and they come in a pack of 3. I think it's like the medium Stork scissors, or maybe the small ones. It's one of those, the long ones. When you're not doing the long nails, it's too much. You'll cut someone with that, so you want to be very careful. And here's the thumb, and you see that just came right off. So if you cut like far enough, it'll come off. And so I'm going underneath the nail, right exactly where I cut it off, because there's a little lip there to where it's still attached to the actual tip, and that's the part that I'm filing. And you want to make sure you file that, or there's going to be like a little dip there, and after that's gone, just file the nail like regular. And I'm going for tapered squares, so well, it's like tapered square / coffin. It's like the in between. So yeah, just file off that little piece that you cut, and you want to file where it's connected to like the whole part of the tip still, not like the empty part. Like you see, I couldn't pull it off because it's still attached, and that's what you want to file off, the part where it's attached, and it'll give you a nice straight line. So here I am. This is how I make sure the free edge is straight, by flipping the hand this way. And so I'm using JCBC Concepts Cover Blush, not Me Secret Monomer, JCBC Concepts Monomer, in an empty 8-ounce bottle that I get from Amazon. Also, JCBC Concept Clear and number 10 Modelones, and it's just a purple, and it does not marble. And I'm using Young Nails Protein Bond and Mia Secret Dehydrator and Prep. So I'm going to explain this part. So on all 10 fingers, dehydrate it with the Mia Secret Dehydrator, right? And then, and also I left both hands in so you can see what I'm doing, like what I'm talking about. So it's easier to understand. So now with Young Nails Protein Bond, I do 1 coat on all 10 nails, right? So do the first 10, then do the second hand. And then after I'm done priming the second hand, I go in and prime the first hand for a second time. And then I go ahead and apply that thin clear base layer. And then after I'm done applying that thin clear base layer to the first hand, I go and prime the second hand. And so now both hands have 2 coats of primers, and then I put the clear base layer on that one. I don't do it like 1 finger at a time, because I feel like you might forget to prime it a second time, you know? So I just go ahead and do it this way. I don't get very much lifting on myself when I do it this way, so I wanted to try it out on her. And also, before I applied the tip, so after I filed the shine off the nail, I went ahead and brushed all the dust off, and then I went ahead and used Young Nail Swipe and swiped the nails with the manicure brush. Then I applied the tips, and then after I got done filing on the tips, I went ahead and brushed the dust off again with the manicure brush, and then I went ahead and used some alcohol to dehydrate the nails and like get all the dust off. And then after that, I went ahead and used the Mia Secret Dehydrator. I know it sounds like a lot, but she was touching a lot of stuff. And so here's the second coat of primer. And now I'm going in with the clear base layer. The brush I'm using is a Beetles size 10. And this is the clear base layer. It's very thin, and it also helps fill in that gap a little bit from tip to natural nail, but you want to be extremely thin around the cuticle area, and you want to put very little product there, because it will if you have to file all the way around the still in the cuticle area, it might you might have to remove all that color there, and it looks very weird, and it looks very choppy in the cuticle area. So make that as thin as you possibly can. And I make it connect from natural nail, like all the way from cuticle to the tip with the clear. Some people only just put it on the natural nail. I just go all the way across, because it gives me a good platform for when I do like fills and all that, and I don't file on the actual tip as much. I file on the clear. So with this first bead, with the first bead of JCBC Concepts Cover Blush, I put it exactly where the tip meets the natural nail. And I had to put another one because that one, it didn't reach, and I was running out of this one. This is the very first one I bought like months ago. So it's still going strong. I actually finished it in this video, or I finished it after. Yeah, I finished it in my video that's coming up on Sunday. That video, I finished it then, and oh my gosh, I'm glad I have another one, because it's still my favorite nude. I couldn't find my Nail Like Lucy Cool Color Pink, and then I found it. So yeah, those two nudes, amazing. So the ring finger and the index finger are the nude, and I'll be doing a French tip on them. As you saw by the thumbnail, I'll be doing a sugared French on them, and then the thumb, middle, and pinky are all solid purple. And I'll let you guys watch. Also, I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and I go live every Friday. So ring the bell so you get notified of that. And yeah, that's all I wanted to add. So one thing you might notice is I am working thicker than, well, like the nails don't turn out like thick or anything, but I'm working thicker than I usually would with the nude. And you'll see here, even with the colored acrylic, I am working a tad bit thicker because usually I work like super thin, and then I build the nail up with the clear. But I decided to like, I've been trying something out, just by working like a little bit thicker with the color, but I was gonna not encapsulate like the nude at all because I already knew I had to do, I knew it was gonna turn into like a French, right? So I didn't really need to encapsulate because it was painted on and all that stuff. But you know, I decided to encapsulate it anyways because there was like clear spots showing up because there's not a lot of nude left. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna encapsulate, so I can protect my color. And yeah, I encapsulate the colored acrylic regardless. But I'm trying not to encapsulate my nudes and all that stuff, but we'll see. So yeah, applying the colored acrylic super, super, super thin because I will be encapsulating. Well, I encapsulate everything, but I always encapsulate my colored acrylics. So if you watch some of my older videos of me using the Model 1's colors, you can see that the way I use them has completely changed, and like the consistency that I use them in is completely different, and it's way more pigmented this way. And you really just kind of have to practice and see what you're good at, because even before, I liked the consistency that I was working at it with, and I still like painting it on, working super thin, but with the monomer switches that I've had, it's just not that easy to paint it unless you're using their monomer. If you're using their monomer, oh, you can paint it on like really easy. But like right now, I'm just encapsulating with the JCBC concepts, and I love their system. I'm gonna have to try out their primers when I'm out of my Mia Secret. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, for now, I'm just encapsulating and I'm building up the apex, sticking to at the tip, slightly encapsulating the nude nails, not too much. And after this is done, I'm going to go in and file. Now that that's all done, I'm going to go in with my Carlash 8080 grit file. I don't know why I started shaping up the sides first. Like, I started doing that out of nowhere, but I typically don't like to do it that way. I like to go in with the e-file first. But for some reason I've been going with the hand file, and like I realized that and I'm like, what am I doing? Because it kind of messes up the shape of the sides, because if you make one wrong turn, it's just gonna round out your corner or do something crazy. So I don't know why I've been doing that, but I know I have to go back. So yeah, all I'm doing is filing the sides right now, and then after that I'm gonna go in with my e-file. So now I'm going in with my Pana 5-in-1 drill bit, and I'm sealing the cuticle, and I'm just refining the surface of the nail. As you guys saw, the nail is pretty smooth. It's just there's just some areas that like I need to rearrange. I don't know the proper word for it, but I only have this part of me doing it, which is like the first couple nails. But after I finish this, I go in with my 180 grit sanding band that I used to prep the nail at the beginning, and I smooth out any deep scratches in the nail that I had put there. Sorry about my hair getting in the way. But any deep scratches that I put in the nail from this bit, I go in and use the sanding band at a pretty, like, it's like a medium speed, I'd say, to get out any of the scratches. And then I buff the nail with a red buffer, and then I wipe the surface of the nail off, and I go ahead and use some alcohol to clean the surface of the nail. And then I go in with my design or my top coat. So in this case, I'll be doing a design. Okay, so for this part, I recommend wearing gloves if you're messy. So I'm using Creation white gel polish, acetone, 100% acetone, and 2 brushes from Macart. I think one of them's like a 4 and the other's a 10. And these are mainly like cleanup brushes to clean around the cuticle, and I'm using craft store glitter. It's just fine iridescent glitter. And so the way that I do this is very weird, and I was very nervous because I don't paint. I'm not very good at it, and I've never been good at it. So as you saw, I made a line down the middle and I connected 2 sides to it, and then I just filled it in. And you want to make sure this gel polish is flat. You don't want to do it too thick because your nail is already built up. If you want to, you can top coat the nails before you do this, which I kind of recommend doing, but at the same time, I don't like drawing on top of the little top coated surface. I like doing the matte. So it's personal preference. And this was a test nail, so I went ahead and did the fringe, and then I cleaned it off after I pour in the glitter. I've done this before on my channel, and you pour this over the wet gel. Over the wet gel, you pour in the glitter, and you make sure it covers every surface. Then you cure it, and you dust off the loose glitter after you cure it. If you do it before, it's just gonna be wet, and it's just gonna be a mess. It's gonna take off all that glitter you just did. And so For the second nail, I did the exact same thing, and if you mess up, you just go ahead and get your acetone, dip your cleanup brush in it, and clean it off. And you can go in as many times as you like, just don't overthink it. You can actually paint like, make sure the corners are defined, paint like half the nail, and then clean it out that way. It's really easy, really fast. Just make sure that the nail beds match up. That's just the one thing that I recommend. You don't want to have like on the same hand at least. Like if you're doing like one on one hand, one on the other hand, it's different, right? But make sure that there I am making sure that they match up, because that one was already cured. I couldn't change it, but the wet one I can change. So again, make sure you rock the nail from side to side, rock the glitter from side to side, because you want to make sure it is completely soaked in. Like the glitter, you can tell when there's like a wet spot like of just gel, and nothing's gonna stick to that because you had already cured it, right? So now, because I already know what I'm doing, I just went ahead, and this is where I'm saying like you can just do whatever with it. Like you can be as messy as you want and then clean it up and it's done. Just make sure the nail beds match and you have an even coat of white, because if you have any spots where there's no white, it's not gonna stick. So you want to make sure you get this right. So go ahead and watch, because I don't know, I love sugaring. It just looks so good and it's very quick and fast. You can do a second layer of sugaring. Just go ahead and do some top coat over it and sugar it again, and it'll stick to wherever you put the top coat on, and it'll be super opaque. So it just really depends on your preference. But make sure you wipe the sides with like the glitter on it, so it's not too much. And because it can ruin your shape if you don't wipe that off. So yeah, I'll link everything, like all these brushes, except for the Creation nail polish. I'll try and see if I can find it. So like I said, if you don't wipe the sides with all the glitter on it, it might ruin your shape, and then you might have to file it, which is a lot. So just go ahead and wipe that off. This is why I recommend wearing gloves, because you don't really want to touch the product. And look, y'all, I love the Creation gel polish. Like, it is just amazing. So now I'm going with my Beetle top coat, and before I do that, I wipe off all the loose glitter. And you want to be super gentle with this if your brush is very like, if it's not soft, because this manicure brush is not soft at all. It's very rough. So I had to be very gentle, and then I just went ahead and poured the rest of the glitter back into my little container because it didn't really touch her skin too much. So I was okay with it. And that's why I used the little cup so I can collect it, and you can see there's not very much glitter around my station. Sorry that it is like a little messy. I tried to clean up as best as possible, but with like all the filing and all of this, it just would not come up. Like, there was just more every 5 seconds because she was playing with stuff. As you can see, she's like moving stuff back there. So you just want to top coat it. If you're not going to do a second coat, I don't recommend you top coat your Sugarnail because it kind of ruins the effect. And like, look at the way that looks. It's just so gorgeous. And you want to make sure you clean up the cuticle area before you do that, or it'll look weird and it'll be on the skin and it might cause your nail polish to lift. And now I'm using Blossom Cuticle Oil to hydrate the cuticles, and I'm just gonna rub that in. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and I go live every Friday. Everything I have a link to will be linked to down below in the description. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.